Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AI Radioroom. I'm joined here with Clara from Filecoin Foundation. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Good stuff. Good
It's the
stuff.
beginning of consensus, so everyone is very refreshed. I just flew in today. So.
Yeah. Get here all right?
I did. Yeah, it was very smooth.
Good stuff.
Early
good stuff.
morning, but it was okay.
It'll all be worth it.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Right. So maybe just introduce yourself and let us know a little bit more about Filecoin Foundation.
Yeah, so my name is Clara Tsao. I'm the founding officer of Filecoin Foundation. We are part of the Filecoin ecosystem, which is the largest decentralized storage network today. We were initially started around 2014 was when the first Filecoin white paper was published, that it was really made public in 2017. So we really have been thinking about storage and what a decentralized storage network looks like. But the best way to think about us is instead of one centralized server where all your data is stored today, where in today's internet, there are a handful of companies, just 4, that own most of the world's data. And I'm sure all of you guys know what those companies are. But we allow for instead a network of different nodes, a number of different people all around the world building their own storage facilities to be able to store tons of data that come from all around the world.
I mean, AI is very intensive on data, so I think it's a very important sort of thing we need to tackle in the space. So maybe what initially got you into Web3?
Yeah, so for me, the crypto and cryptocurrency really comes from cryptography, which is really how, if you think about it, a form of mathematics that have existed for a very long time, but it's really how you can securely transfer something, whether that's currency or whether that's data from one place to another without the need for intermediaries. And for me, I have spent my life really tackling the toughest problems on the internet. Now, a lot of the challenges today on the web have been because there have been intermediaries in between that have created a monopoly on how different things work. An example is if you imagine doing a Google search, it's very different than searching for something in a physical library. Where in a physical library, you might have an index and you're looking for a book under the nature section, and you will get a book about flowers. Exactly the way you would assume it is in real life. But on Google, you might put in a search item and the first query might be whoever pays the most money, not the most accurate information. And so for us, we really want to bring back data in the hands of people and make sure that people can get access to the most trustworthy data out there. And storage is that layer that's so critical. And as we think about AI, which is just another layer of the internet, as we think about evolution, it's just like 3G, 4G, 5G. It's another evolution. We know that it's more important than ever to make sure that as we think about machine language and learning models, those can be coming from trustworthy sources, especially in the age of distrust online with a lot of misinformation and disinformation and a very polarized ecosystem of people talking online today.
So maybe we can talk about what drew you to work at the intersection of AI and Web3, and why do you believe that that combination has so much potential?
Yeah, I think AI right now AI has been around for a very long time. It's been in the public spotlight. I think for us, like I said before, we've been thinking about decentralized storage for over a decade. And as part of the different things you can store online, AI data sets is a subset. And in fact, we store so much data from, you can imagine places like Internet Archive, which has the Wayback Machine, which archives every layer of the web. And today, a lot of AI companies are scraping that kind of data to be able to think about their models. And AI really feeds off of data. The more data there is, the more accurate the AI. And so for us, this is a natural place for Filecoin. And beyond just the ability to think about the large amounts of data Filecoin can store, we also offer the ability to validate the source of where data is coming from. So we have hundreds of data centers, 3,000 of them all around the world. And we can allow for people to store at a fraction of the cost when it comes to archival data than AWS today for AWS Glacier.
Sure.
And beyond that, we can also verify that data actually came from the source and that it wasn't something that had been manipulated over time. Just like today, there's so many images online that may have been doctored or might have been photoshopped, and we can actually verify using our storage layer and our storage system.
Okay, lovely, lovely, good stuff. So maybe the next question can be regarding the current hype of AI. So, in your personal opinion, is the current buzz around on-chain AI overhyped or underhyped?
I think on-chain AI is a little overhyped, but at the same time, you imagine today, all these major AI companies, OpenAI, Anthropic just raised $7 billion last year. Elon just yesterday raised $6 billion for his AI company, right? These are huge billionaires or huge companies that are part of monopolies. And I think today it's really hard to ignore the AI buzz as so much investment and funding has gone into it. I think at the same time, for us, we've been storing AI data for a while. It's just telling those stories. And I think there are a lot of players taking advantage of AI because it's a great fundraising environment to do that. So I do think it's a little overhyped because at the same time, people have been working on this technology for years.
Yes.
But it's also the same in the rest of blockchain. In 2021, 2022, at the peak of the bull market back then, you also had a number of people creating NFTs and other companies that were tourists.
Yes.
So you'll see tourist season every time. And I think there is a little bit of an AI tourist season right now in crypto, but there's also a lot of people that have been building core technology for a long time and really thinking long term. And so I think there are so many reliable companies today too that are really thinking about the next generation of compute, the next generation of storage, and the importance of this when it comes together with the huge amount of AI data sets we're seeing today.
Yes. Lovely. Okay, so more of a personal one now. So what have you found to be your favorite ways to use AI just in everyday life? You know?
Yeah, I would say in general, even doing interviews like this, or even writing letters of references for people, it's really good to have templates that come from AI. I think it's very creative to use AI to generate images. We've actually created stickers for the Filecoin community.
Okay, using
generative AI.
Lovely.
So I think there's a lot of possibility. And in addition, one thing that's great is because we are at the storage layer, we've also had a number of companies in our ecosystem, like Water Lily AI, be able to create marketplaces. And I think you guys as well, for compensating creators for contributing to AI, because at the end of the day, these artists and people who are giving their information for free, they end up with no business model to survive.
Precisely.
And for us, we really want to make sure that in the new data economy, when it comes to decentralized storage, we also have the right incentive structure to incentivize everyone in alignment.
Yes, it's super important for just users and community members to be able to directly benefit from this, right? Like information's given away for free all the time. And we do want to avoid that in Web3.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the final question is, why would the average user want to adopt a decentralized model over existing solutions like Web2 LLMs, like OpenAI?
Yeah, I think it depends on, the reason might be different for everyone, but I think in general, we're seeing more and more people have a growing distrust in how their data is used. And this distrust especially comes from large companies. When you have devices like Alexa that misuse user data, you have tracking devices, even Apple Watch. If you don't know how to configure the setting, your data might be harvested and used in different ways. You have scandals like Cambridge Analytica that took place that really had a huge impact on US elections. And so I think we're seeing a new era of people really wanting to take control back on their data.
Yeah.
And I think this is an area where users, if given the choice to not have their search history stored by a centralized provider that might use it for other purposes or sell their data, that is much preferred. And so that for me is why decentralized storage is so important at that fundamental layer. Because today, no matter what you're doing from models to applications, you still need to store your data somewhere. And you want to make sure that trust in where you store it is something that isn't manipulated or misused by bad actors.
Yes. Yeah. It's almost like an opt-out, of the traditional way of doing things.
Yep. And you also don't have intermediaries that might interfere.
Precisely.
So.
All right. That is us, I believe. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, hopefully we look forward to working with you more. Maybe seeing you around in possibly Belgium.
Yeah.
If you'll be going to...
We will be there. We will have a pretty large presence there. And Filecoin Brussels network base. We also have IPFS camp, so Interplanetary File System camp. So we definitely would love to see you guys there and everyone else in your ecosystem as well.
We look forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.